What does it mean to say that the all is mind and the universe is mental? Think about it for a moment. It's not just an old phrase taken from the Kybalion. Is the master key that unlocks the enigma of your entire existence. Have you ever felt the exhaustion of a relentless search, watching the days blur together while your greatest dreams always seem just a step away? It's like running on a treadmill. The effort is real, but the progress is illusory. Frustration is the inevitable result of searching in the wrong place. Most people look for change in exterior, more money, a new relationship, a transformed body. They seek incessantly, ignoring the first and fundamental Hermetic law. They ignore that what you seek is already looking for you, and the encounter can only occur at one frequency, that of mind. What you are looking for is not out there, but in here. We invite you to leave behind the mindset of the hunter, the pursuer, and take on the stance of the cosmic magnet. I do not pursue, I attract. But how? The answer lies in the mastery of a concept that modern science, ancient spirituality, and Hermeticism have always known: the transmuting visualization. This is not a video about mere positive images. It is a how-to guide for mental alchemy, the art of transforming the unwanted, dense and limiting reality into gold, the absolute manifestation. Hermetic philosophy teaches that the all is mind. To understand visualization as alchemy, you must first free yourself from the illusion of solidity. Imagine the universe not as a gigantic clockwork, but as an infinite dream that is being dreamed by the mind of the all. And you are an idea, a thought that exists within this universal mind. In quantum physics, we learn that nothing is truly solid. What we call matter is actually energy vibrating at a certain frequency. The atom is 99.99% empty space. Therefore, the reality you touch, see, and hear is, at its deepest essence, a mental phenomenon encoded in vibrational energy. If the universe is mental, if it is a gigantic field of consciousness, the only way to change it is through mind. Alchemy is not about changing metals. It is about change your mental and vibrational state. You are a creator in the dream of the whole. What is within your creative power? Your thoughts. The problem is that, for most, thoughts are automatic, repetitive, and, worst of all, reactive to the outside world. They don't create, they create what already exists. Transmuting visualization is the tool that reverses this flow. Instead of reacting to the visible world, you begin to impose the new order from the invisible world, the mind. You become the causer, not the effect. If your world is a reflection of your deepest thoughts, what is your current reality telling you about your dominant mental programming? Acceptance of this truth is liberation from material imprisonment. You are not a physical being seeking a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being, a unit of consciousness, having a physical experience. And this physical experience is completely malleable to your will, inner conviction. Visualization, in its purest form, is the exercise of sovereignty. You are asserting, not asking, that your inner reality is the only lasting truth, and outer reality is but a transient shadow. The universe, being mental, can only respond to your master idea. The greatest obstacle to manifestation is not the universe, but our own acceptance of limited identity. Neville Goddard, the master of assumption, taught that the secret is not in the image you see, but in the feeling that you hold. For Neville, the act of visualizing is not about seeing images, it is about inhabit the state of being of its manifestation. If you want wealth, it's not enough to see piles of money. You need feel dignity, security, and freedom that this wealth already provides you. If you want a loving relationship, it's not enough to see the person by your side. You need feel the peaceful joy, security, and satisfaction of already being in that relationship. This is the domain of gender law. The sixth Hermetic Principle concerns generation, creation, and procreation. There is a mental gender, which has the masculine aspect, willing, the focus, and the feminine aspect, the imagination, the feeling. Visualization is the act of impregnate imagination. The feminine aspect, the fertile soil, the creative womb of the mind. With focused will, the masculine aspect, the seed, the definite intention. The result of this union is generation of reality. Neville asks us to go beyond mere request and assume the only true identity, the I am. The Hermetic practice, as taught by Neville, is assume the I am of your fulfilled desire. The crucial step is the feeling of the end. Close your eyes and ask, if this wish were already fulfilled, what would be the sensation that would dominate my being now? Focus on that feeling, not the image. The image can be a starting point, a sketch, but the emotion is the fuel of manifestation. Hold this feeling until it feels like a fait accompli, a memory of the recent past, not a future dream. It is at this point that you enter into vibrational resonance with your new reality. The mistake 99% of people make when trying to manifest is visualizing what do they want and not what they will feel when they already have it. They create a desire, but the dominant emotion is that of lack. They are saying, I don't have it. This is reverse transmutation, a nullification of the creative process itself. The mental universe responds to your internal affirmation and not to its external clamor. It is necessary to move from the position of begaphor to ophona, dialogue with the subconscious. The subconscious, the vast and powerful part of your mind that operates 90% of your reality, doesn't deal with logic or time. It deals with emotional impressions. When you feel the joy and naturalness of accomplishment, the subconscious registers this as an existing fact. He then mobilizes all his internal resources, habits, intuitions, insights, and external resources, people, synchronicities, opportunities, so that the physical world adjusts and corresponds to your new internal state. There is no need to know the how. The subconscious, in alliance with the universal mind, is already orchestrating the means. For this inner affirmation to become the new reality, we need science to validate ancient wisdom, and this leads us to principle of vibration. Nothing stands still, everything moves, everything vibrates. Your mind, emotions, and body are complex vibrational systems. Think of them as waves. the thought wave, the emotion wave, and the electromagnetic field wave. Neurologist and researcher Joe Dispenza has demonstrated that transmutative visualization only works fully when you change your brainwave state. Most people live in the high beta, the frequency of stress, overanalysis, and reactive thinking. At this frequency, the critical factor of the conscious mind is active, and it judges and denies your visualization based on past reality. The conscious mind acts like a hermetically sealed gate, dissipating creative energy before it reaches the fertile ground. To access the subconscious, the only fertile of creation, you need to lower the frequency to alpha or theta. This is the first step for every alchemist, entering the inner laboratory. The practice of neurocardiac coherence. You're not seeking sleep, but the hypnagogic state, the golden bridge. Through slow, deep breathing, you lower your brain frequency from beta to alpha, allowing the bridge between the conscious and subconscious to open. Once in alpha or theta, your critical factor is silenced. Now, feel the thrill of your wish fulfilled. Dispenza calls this elevated emotions: gratitude, joy, admiration, love. These heightened emotions, scientifically, create a coherent and powerful electromagnetic field around your heart. The heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain to the heart. A coherent heart sends a signal of order, health, and integrity to the quantum field. You're not just a thinker, you're electromagnetic magnetoperating from your heart. Thought, electrical in nature, is the intention. Feeling, magnetic in nature, is the attractor. When they are in coherence and high vibration, they combine to create an energetic signature so strong that external reality has no choice but to bow to your new internal state of being. Reality does not manifest from what you think casually, but then you and vibrationally. You change your frequency, and the field, in turn, must rearrange itself. The new emotional memory. By doing this repeatedly, you are teaching your body to feel the excitement of your new reality before for it to manifest. The body, which is the subconscious, begins to believe that the experience has already happened. You are literally creating a new future emotional memory. This frees the body from the bondage of past emotions, the vicious cycle of pain, scarcity, or anger that has trapped you in the past. Instead of being controlled by the memories of what was, you become drawn to the memories of what is, it will be. Transmutative visualization works directly with 3 other Hermetic principles to ensure manifestation on the physical plane. These are the master's tools for navigating duality. The 4th principle is the polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. The like and the unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes touch each other. Fear and courage are not different things. They are just the same. Extremes of the same mental spectrum. Scarcity is the polar opposite of abundance. Transmuting visualization is the art of using will, the focus of the mind, to rise from the lower pole, the unwanted thought that arises, to the higher pole, the desired state. Transmutation in practice. When a thought of doubt, inadequacy, or illness arises, recognize it not as an enemy to be fought, but as the lower pole of your desired wealth and health. Don't fight it, because fighting it gives it energy and reinforces its existence. Instead, Force the mind to climb the spectrum. Remember the sense of security, gratitude, and health you have cultivated, and deliberately vibrate at that higher frequency. The unwanted thought dissipates because your emotional frequency is stronger, and the mind cannot sustain two opposing poles with equal intensity. You are transmuting fear into faith, scarcity into the expectation of provision. You are acting as the master who operates duality, not as the slave who is dominated by it. The fifth principle is the rhythm. Everything has its ebb and flow. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The swing of the pendulum is manifest in everything. On your manifestation journey, there will be days of absolute confidence, the flow, and days of paralyzing doubt, the ebb. The master who understands the rhythm neither clings to the high flow nor suffers during the low ebb. They know that the emotional pendulum will swing back to the undesirable pole, but they invoke the law of cause and effect and acts mentally to not be carried away by the current. When the rhythm tries to drag you to the negative pole, you must stay in the state of I am, carried out, anchored incoherence of the heart. You don't stop visualizing when you feel good. You persist in assumption, especially when the rhythm tries to persuade you otherwise. Unwavering constancy is the lever that breaks the vicious cycle of rhythm, for the master's will is the only force capable of imposing stability on the eternal tide. Neutralization is not paralysis, it is the action of the mind on movement. And the third principle, the engine of manifestation on the plane of form, correspondence. As above, so below, and as below, so above. Your inner world is your outer world in condensed form. Your subconscious is the universe in miniature, and the universe is your subconscious on a cosmic scale. Transmutative visualization is the act of create the perfect form in the above, the mental plane, so that the below, the physical plane, can organize itself and correspond to it. You are drawing the exact mental map so that the law of attraction, which is the principle of correspondence in action, can fulfill it with physical materials. The precision of your desire must be absolute. You can't wish for a blurry map and expect a clear route. The outside world is the exact mirror of your dominant mental image. If your reality is chaotic, your mind has been divided and in dissonance. If you want clarity in life, start by imposing clarity in your visualization. Wallace D. Wattles, M. The Science of Getting Rich, refined the application of correspondence through the concept of thinking in form. Transmutative visualization applied to abundance. He taught that there is a thinking matter of which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates the entire universe. This thinking matter is what Hermeticism calls the whole. When you think about your desire with clarity, form, and emotion, life, you are communicating directly with this thinking matter, which is the intelligent substrate of all creation. Wattles gives us guidelines for practice. Form a clear and definite mental picture. Be relentless with clarity. Don't accept the abstract. Create the blueprint of your life, your body, your relationship. The will, the masculine principle, must be the sculptor of this form. Sustain this vision with unwavering purpose. Don't just dream. Think about the shape. Your mental activity becomes the construction of its manifestation, with the same seriousness and attention to detail with which an architect oversees a building. This requires time and mental isolation from external influences. Use gratitude as an elixir of manifestation. Gratitude is not a bonus. It is the catalyst that accelerates the vibration of your thought to the frequency of thinking matter. Being grateful for what you have and mainly for what is on the way, your wish already fulfilled, is proof that you believe in correspondence. Gratitude is the feeling that affirms it's already done. It is the seal of unconditional faith. Visualization for the master is not a casual meditation. It is a constant state of being where you move and live from the premise of your already existing wealth and fulfillment, just waiting to transition into physical form. The immediate view. There is a saturation point in your transmuting visualization. It is the moment when the internal image becomes so real, so saturated with feeling, that the need for repetition disappears. It is the point of full acceptance. At this moment, reality bends, not because the universe heard you, but because you changed your vibration, and the universe has no choice but to mirror this new energetic signature. This is the complete mental transmutation, a immersive practice that bends. Reality is an experience multisensory and deep emotional, carried out coherently and with purpose. The shutdown of the analytical ego. Find your space of stillness. Isolation stillness is the first step to alchemy. Begin breathing to lower your brain frequency to alpha, preparing the alchemical laboratory internal. The goal is to silence the inner critic, the guardian of past reality, the end scenario, not the journey. Don't visualize the process, the struggle, the means. Visualize just the end, the exact scene that unequivocally proves that your wish has been granted. Create a short film of 10 to 20 seconds. Let it be vivid, quick, and impactful. If it's a healing, visualize yourself running, feeling vitality and strength. If it's a professional success, visualize the moment of celebration, the touch of a symbolic object, the sound of a notification. The consummate feeling. Repeat this scene for 10 to 20 seconds. With each repetition, intensify the emotion. Use all your senses. Feel the texture, hear the sound, smell the smell. The goal is for your subconscious believe that this has already happened. The moment of success is when your emotion is not hope or desire, but off-relief, gratitude and naturalness. You're no more excited about the outcome than you would be about remembering a good event last month. That's the place of birth of Asuncion, the abandonment of anxiety, the principle of cause and effect. It says, every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. You have just created the cause, the new mental and emotional programming, the new state of being. You don't need to worry about the effect, how and when manifestation will arrive. The Hermetic law of cause and effect guarantees that your new mental state will result in a corresponding external reality. Anxiety is the ego's attempt to interfere in the law, asking how. Abandon the how to the universal mind. Its only function is to sustain the cause. As you exit the visualization, declare with the calm of a king, "It's done," and live your day with the calm certainty that your request is already on its way. You're not trying to convince the universe to give you something. You're aligning with the truth that it is already everything you desire. You are simply removing the veils of illusion created by reactive thinking. Use the principle of vibration to stay at high frequencies. Use the principle of polarity to transmute fear into faith. Use the principle of correspondence to know that your inner world, he must create your outer world. The ultimate secret is persistence in assumption. No matter what your eyes see in apparent reality, they see the past reality. The master lives by inside to outside. Be the master, be the architect, be the cause. Your thoughts are the tools of the whole, working to shape the universal mind through your individual consciousness. Change your thinking, and you change your world. It is the only law, and it is absolute. The integration of Esther Hicks, the law of attraction. Transmutative visualization is letting go. Esther Hicks teaches that the law of attraction is always responding to your dominant vibration. The work of visualization is precisely to create that dominant vibration. When you achieve the naturalness of assumption, you are in permission. You are no longer resisting your own good. Resistance is doubt, effort, anxiety. Allowance is flow, faith, calm certainty. Let go of the rope and let the universal mind fill the mold you just created. Unity consciousness, Deepak Chopra. At the deepest level, visualization is not just about manifesting things, but about manifesting the higher self. Deepak Chopra reminds us that our individual consciousness is inseparable from cosmic consciousness. When you visualize, you are using the infinite power of pure potential that resides within you. It is not a manipulation. It is a return to the source. You are manifesting your destiny from the field of all possibilities. Your success is not a selfish achievement, but the physical test of the unity between your mind and the mind of all that is. The only necessary action. After coherent visualization, the only physical action required is inspired action. It's not the painful effort, but the light, instinctive response to an intuition. When you're in coherence, mind in alpha, theta plus heart in gratitude, the universe communicates with you through subtle signals. A phone number that appears, a sudden idea to call someone, a book that falls off the shelf. Visualization prepares the mold, and inspired action is the step that leads you to find the filling material. Your feet will take you exactly where your mind already is. What your new reality demands of you now live by that answer. Your journey to mental mastery has just begun.